Good evening, folks, and it's a Happy New Year from me as we begin Season 19 here in APPF1 at Tier 1. That's right, it's Friday night, we're back, and the on-track action is looking very, very spicy if you have been looking at the driver lineups and the teams that we have. I think we might be in for one of the most competitive Tier 1 titles that I've seen in a long time. Maybe ever. It's going to be a big one, everybody, but welcome along. We're here in Qatar for race number 1, and it's going to be a good one, I can assure you. Well, we'll see. Let's hope the overtaking is good. Obviously no standings to go through. Let's try and find the lead driver on track right now. It is AMS Palang in that lovely Golf Williams. I just need to triple check I'm all operational. Let me see. As I see Lawrence is streaming. Might go dump on his chat one second. There we go. Yes, we are working. We are operational. Hello, everybody. It's good to be back. We've got some great driver pairings on the grid. You've got Dakar and Verstappen pairing back up again. Constructors winners from last season, of course. Now in the Ferraris instead of the Saubers, which are now occupied by Tomasz and Koru. Keep it on those two. I think they'll have a good race in them both every once in a while. Palang returning once again, champion from a couple seasons ago. Had a bit of a poor one last time round, but he'll hope to do better. The LTB is back. He is paired with Jasper, but Jasper's not here this evening. There's a lot of drivers who aren't here. Jack Alacco currently dealing with major technical issues. He won't have a PlayStation for a couple of weeks. There's also Josh and Ghost back together. There's Kylo and such, but a lot of these big hitters actually aren't here this evening. But let's take you on a trip around Qatar then, as we go in towards turn 1 with Palang. Brake as late as you dare, and then carry as much speed as you can through the corner. Use all the track available. Then in to turn number 2, and just using all the track. It's a common feature here in Qatar. Then through 3 into 4 and 5. You want to carry as much speed as you can. Really cut those curbs. And really try and pin the throttle on the exit of the second part of the corner. Then into the slowest corner on the track. This hairpin here. You could use the curb, you could not use the curb. I think using the curb does guarantee you a little bit more time, as you saw Palang doing there. And into this long right-hander. You've got to be patient as you get back on the throttle into the next couple of corners here to end off Sector 2. As you come around this final corner and then up towards the Sector 2 line as the McLaren gets out of the way for the Williams coming through into this Istanbul-esque corner. We go right once more, and right once again. Full throttle for Palang all the way through, and let's see if he's full throttle through this next corner. He is. No downshifts either for Palang, and then using what's left of his ERS down to the final corner and really chucking the car in. He's going to sit the first time for us here this evening, using the painted section to get that little bit extra speed. And it's a 1 minute 20.9 from Palang. Kevin O'Reilly follows him with a 1 minute 21.2, and Kinney with a 21.6. One of the newbies here in Tier 1 APPF1. Here comes Kevin in the middle of Kinney and Kevin O'Reilly there. And how about Lawrence now? He had a poor racing on Tuesday. It wasn't really his fault. He got damage on the underfloor, and he really didn't get to show what he could do. And so far it's a 22.9 from my Tier 2 rival and good friend Lawrence. P7 for Koru there as well. They've got aces in the Red Bull crossing the line as well. They've got a full grid. It's sometimes hard to keep track. Here's Michael Wozniak returning to the league as of yesterday, I believe. He goes P8 while his teammate goes P10, who's quickly demoted by Tomasz. And then Joey B crosses the line now up into P12 ahead of Lawrence. A little bit of a Tier 2 battle going on at the back. Speaking of, Triku Badayak coming across the line now. He's going to go up into P8 at 21.7. That's a solid lap time so far from Triku Badayak. Here comes Lewis in the Mercedes up into P8. Here goes the Alpine of LTB, just popping it into P2 there. It's a very solid lap time. Here comes Ghost. He has been down in the doldrums of his qualifying sessions of late. Let's see what he can do here. 21.8, 13th, a decent start. He'll hope to progress and hopefully get in that top 10 come the end of the session. Robin Brain, this is a fast driver. We want to keep our eyes on this man in the Williams. The two Williams, both sporting different liveries. It's not confusing at all. Apologies if I still sound a bit ill. I'm still recovering from a cold. As Robin Brain crosses the line, 20.9, goes up into the top two. The two Williams cars, P1 and 2. Only 1/100th of a second separates them both. LTB says, oh, the two Ferraris as well, respectable laps, 1 minute 21.1s for both of them. Kevin O'Reilly seems to be carrying the momentum forward as well. And Kevin there as well in Tier 1, doing well. 1 minute 21.6 in that P7 slot. But yes, I think because most of the drivers aren't actually here, let's run you through the lineups just to show you how competitive this season is going to be, because I couldn't remember them all off the top of my head. I mean, I've already said about Josh and Ghost, Dakar and QVR Verstappen, and I did briefly mention Kylo and Hugo, both not here. I think Kylo's having some issues with tech or something. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why Hugo isn't here this evening, but they're being represented by Aces and T-Bran in the two Red Bulls there. They'll hope that they can get some solid points to at least give them a decent framework, the two Red Bulls there, to compete. Lewis and Griffin as well, actually. I think I said in the podcast they were drivers to keep an eye on. I think due to their improvement over the course of last season, I think they're a decent quality team. And I think they can do very well for sort of a P4 in this constructors. I can't remember exactly what I said and how they would finish, but I'm pretty sure I rated them pretty highly. LTB and Jasper, of course, I've mentioned. Lawrence and Kane. Kane is currently sat in P8, so pretty decent pace from the debutant. You've then got Jacko and Kevin O'Reilly. Obviously, Jacko not here, not racing with Rick either. Is a big one. Rick's taking a bit of a break, which is fair enough, Rick. I did the same a couple games ago. Palang and Robin Brain, I think that could be a strong pairing if Palang continues to have good form, as he is showing right now. We'll see if that form from a couple of seasons ago where he won the title carries over. And then, of course, you've got Koru and Tomasz, who I think, a bit like Lewis and Griffin, I think they've got some solid performances in them, I think, which is what you want to see. Hello to the 5 people watching. Feel free to say hello in the chat if you're not currently circulating the track, that is. T-Brand then up into P12. Solid banker lap there. It's all very close, actually, even here at the top, as so you've got 3 drivers in the 1 minute 20.9s. And then you've got Dakar and Verstappen there, not far off as well. Kevin O'Reilly's in with a shout. And then I think you've got a bit of a jump. There's a good 4 attempts between the two Kevins and everybody else who is, about 1/10 a tenth away from improving up a position. It's what you want to see in qualifying sessions, I feel. Let's see, who is further along a lap? I want to say it's Kane, so I'm going to ride on board with Kane, although Tomasz, has he just started one? Yes. Let's ride on board with Kane then. They're 1/2 a tenth up. And as I was saying, that could be the difference between one position and another here in this qualifying session. It's that close as he comes through this slow corner on the grid. I'll say slow, it's not really that slow, that one. But anyway, it's still about 1/2 a tenth up. Not really finding too much improvement. It's marginal at best right now. If there's more time to be found, it's got to be found here. But this is a pretty much flat out part of the track. As Kane makes his way around in the Haas, sporting the number 3 of one of the greats of Formula 1, Daniel Ricciardo. Love that man. As he goes up into P8, but does not improve, in fact. So it doesn't move anywhere. As LTB goes out to start a lap, I think Kevin O'Reilly has just invalidated a lap, so And no dice there for the Irishman. And Aces improves up into P7. Solid improvement there. The Lawrence is starting on that. I think that's going to be Tom Ash next. He's 1/10 up, let's say. 2/10 improvement as he puts himself in. Griffin slots himself into P5 now. I told you to keep an eye on these two. Lewis, let's see what he can do. Gets up into P8. 7/8 for the two Mercedes. I'm a 6-time predictions champion. I'm very rarely wrong when it comes to predictions. I like what Lewis and Griffin are cooking there. I need to stop saying Lewis and Griffin that way. I should say Griffin and Lewis. Because I keep getting confused with Family Guy. It's kind of screwing with me. As Michael Wozniak splits the two Mercedes cars. Cora in the Sauber hasn't completed a lap. Palang finds some time and goes quicker. I think those quick guys are out there on circuit now. LTB, he's a 10th up as well, so he's threatening, but he's invalidated his time, so he won't be doing that this time around. How about Lawrence? 2/10 up for Lawrence in the battle for the wooden spoon at the back of the grid with him and Joe. Let's see what he can manage in that Haas car as he makes his way through. He's got a little bit of traffic in the way. We'll hope that Red Bull gets out the way. It doesn't look like they're going to, and I think Lawrence might be a bit miffed about that. I think he's actually backed off. Yeah. Who was that? That was Aces. Oh dear. Oh well. Now we might see that in the steward's room later on. And when I say we, I mean I might see that in the steward's room later on. As is my job. Let's give you Verstappen on an out lap, I want to say. So let's ride along. I think everybody else on track has completed a lap. Let's see. Robin Brain's out on circuit as well, but I don't think they want. Oh, they might be on a lap. Let's see as they come around the final corner. Really, really using all the track there. Is Robin Brain. Comes across the line 20.5. That's a very fast lap time. It's T-Brand starting a lap there as well. His teammate Aces has invalidated, so there'll be no improvement there. So T-Brand is the next to go on a lap. Gosh. But I'm just taking another look at these times. I don't think the two Ferraris really improved on their lap times there. They've stayed right where they are. Kevin O'Reilly the same. Ghost up into P7. That's much better from him. In all the kerfuffle, it's quite difficult to keep track of all 20 drivers, especially if you don't know what order they've come out in. That's the big difference. One of the McLarens is leaving the pit lane. That's Joe. So we'll come back to Joe in a minute. We're watching T-Brand right now, circulating the track. Let's see, coming up to the Sector 2 line now. Any improvement from the Red Bull driver? That's a 10th up, so he's looking to challenge sort of P13, P14, perhaps with this lap time. Let's see what more he can find in the final sector. Coming through the penultimate corner, and he invalidates. Just takes a bit too much, and it's so easily done at that corner. And that's T-Brand's second run in the bin. Right then, it's just Joey B out on track, all quiet on the Qatar Grand Prix circuit. I think it's still used by MotoGP, I want to say, and it's a fun track to drive. I like it. I think it's a lot of drivers don't like it. I don't know actually. Did the drivers not like this track? I like it. I feel like there's a lot of drivers who might like it, but I may be wrong. I mean, certainly as a spectator, it's not the most entertaining, especially in real life. Real life, it's a bit more dull. I will say there's not much overtaking because there being only one DRS straight, and turn 1 being the best chance at an overtake. But here's Joey B then, starting his final run. He was He's battling Lawrence here. He might want to see if he can get up to the likes of Johnny Carr as he makes his way through Sector 1 now. The driver's starting to come out onto the circuit as well. We'll keep an eye on Kevin as well. He's going to be the next to set a lap after Joe as the Ferrari gets out of his way nice and timely. And Joe will be happy about that. Let's see, down to the Sector 1 line. What improvement? Oh, he's half a second up is Joey B. This is more like it from the Tier 2 and Tier 3 driver as well. Reserving tonight, but he's raced in all 3 divisions this week as Joey B. And can he make it a full house by making an appearance in Elite on Sunday? We'll see, as that's very, very wide from Joe. Let's see what he's doing as he comes up to this last set of corners. Still about 5/10 up. So still got about half a second. This is looking like a 22.3 so far. This will see him into 18th place. Can he find some more time as they make their way through? Let's see, Joey B now. Rounding the final corner, running down to the line. And it's 18th for Joe B. An improvement into a 22.1s. And let's ride back on board with Kevin, who is currently not on a lap, actually. He's gone out for a second warm-up lap. So it won't be him, but it will be Dakar, fellow commentator. Man who says he's from Scotland, but is probably from Sheffield. I'm sort of 85% convinced of it. As the Williams does get out of the way in time. Oh, the track is Dakar. Said he was struggling in track limits on the build-up to the race. And there it is. It validates the lap, does Dakar. And that's a lap in the bin. I feel like the Aston Martin of Johnny Carr. No, it's Coro. Tomash on a lap. No. Lewis isn't on a lap either. He's then got an Alpine. Is that Tricky Badayak? It is Tricky Badayak who is on a lap. So let's see what he can do. Took pole position, his second ever pole position in Tier 2 on Tuesday. With a fantastic lap. He goes purple in the middle sector. Clearly a big fan of this Qatar Grand Prix circuit. And ooh, he might feel a bit blocked there by the Sauber. And that's his lap time done. This busy track really claiming a lot of victims. Ghost trying to find an improvement as well, but he's not the driver I want. I think it's Koru next, as he's invalidated his lap time. So it leaves the other Alpine of LTB now. We're looking back to the front, and he's 2/10 up. LTB he looks to snatch P2 away from Palang, who still has a chance to get it. But let's see, LTB takes the checkered flag, 20.6. Not much of an improvement, really. Couldn't take pole. That's T-Bran improving. Kane up into 8th place. That's a solid start there to their debut as Verstappen goes into 4th. But doesn't really get the improvement he was looking for. How about Ghost now? Looking to get a much better qualifying result this time around. No improvement for my podcast co-host. As Griffin up into P7. Here comes Kevin O'Reilly up into 4th. That's a solid go for Kevin O'Reilly. Can Lawrence snatch away any positions from the drivers ahead of him? He can give Johnny Carr the wooden spoon. And that's his day over. And that's Palang crossing the line. Only 3rd place for Palang. Dakar, he was able to find a lap. He's 3/10 up. And he goes into 4th place ahead of Kevin O'Reilly. Robin Brain now into pole position with a better lap than the last. A 1 minute 20.4. That's a very solid go. There's only a couple of drivers left. Lewis coming across the line now. Only P12 for Lewis. Not Michael Wozniak, but I think Tomash has sent him down. Koru's making his way around as well. So that's it. That's all the drivers. And after all that, it was Robin Brain who took pole position away from Palang and LTB, who give it their best, but couldn't really get close to the lap time of Robin Brain. Over 0.2 of a second is the gap out at the front. But it's very close as you work your way down. We're talking about the hundreds and the thousands of seconds in some cases. Well, there we go. Robin Brain, your man on pole position. He is joined by LTB on that front row. Two of the favourites for the title this season. You've then got Palang, Dake, Kevin O'Reilly, the top 5. Kvyat Verstappen, Tomasz Griffin, Ghost, and Kevin in the top 10. You've then got Kane, Michael Wozniak, Lewis, Aces, T-Brand, Triku, Johnny Carr, Koru, Joey B, and Lawrence. There we are. Solid performance from Tricky though. Czech driver doing very well for himself, especially over in tier 2. But let's see what we can do here as we go racing for the Qatar Grand Prix. I should mention that I will be here for this race and the next 2, and then of course you will be handed over to the trusted hands of is it Louis Elday? Lewis Elday? I can never remember. Well, we'll see. Well, I say we'll see. But yes, he'll be taking over the next 4 weeks after that. And then I'd imagine I would be back in the booth to round off the season. So that's, yeah. So 6 rounds from me, 4 from Louis. Or Lewis, or however you say his name. But it's looking good. There should be coverage for all 10 races this season. And I hope to be... maybe not all of them. I don't know. I might join in some reserves positions. But there was a lot of sign-ups tonight, which is not a bad thing to have. Not a bad problem to have. Robin Brain wants that gold star. We will see. It's a long season as 3, 4, 5 red lights illuminate above the drivers here in Qatar, and we are underway and racing, and it looks like a decent start from Robin Brain, but LTB's been bogged down and he's going to be taken by Palang right at the start, is he? But down the inside goes LTB. He's going to fight it with Palang, but Palang's got the inside for the next corner and takes it away. There's then a lot of jostling behind as Verstappen's trying to fight places with Ghost and Kevin. And Tomasz here as well, as Ghost gets through. Verstappen's off the circuit, loses out another place as well. Might lose out to Griffin as well. It's a whole. I've lost for words. It's that exciting out there at the start of this race. That's what it is. But there's a lot of jostling for positions as we go along, and it looks like a bad start for Joey B. T-Brand fighting with Koru there as well. T-Brand getting it up as well. I think Verstappen is probably the biggest of the losers on this race start. Let's see. We'll get everything up. Yeah, Verstappen loses 3 places. Up 4 is Koru. Solid stuff on him. Goes to great start as well. Out the front there. Up into P6 already. And he'll be chasing after his... commentary partner for tier 2 as Verstappen around the outside now, the penultimate corner. A little bit of wheel banging between himself and Kevin. Kevin not one to back down, but he backs down in this instance. And a big slap from Verstappen. That's going to compromise him all the way down to turn 1. Loses a lot of momentum, and Kevin, with his straight line speed, goes straight past the Ferrari. And now here comes the Haas on the attack as well, but not moving it on this occasion. But Michael Wozniak ahead of Griffin in that Mercedes, up into P11. Lots of action, lots of drama already. Let's have a look at the strategy. The top 3, all on that hard tyre. They're all going to go long into this race and then swap over as Michael Wozniak again looking for another place. This time on Kane, inside in the Aston Martin, but doesn't go for it on this occasion. Does he go for a dive into the slow corner? No, thinks better of it. Well, let's see here. Everybody nice and close together. Verstappen going to be making up some places. He's going to be challenging the back of Kevin now after that poor opening lap. We'll see what he can manage. But it is a 1-stop here. You can do the 2-stop, but I think the 1-stop is a much better option. And those on the mediums, I'd imagine they'd come in between a lap 10 and 12. I managed 12 laps and 17 laps respectively on Tuesday. So... it's very, very possible. Yeah. Hello, Lapis. Am I watching... I don't know who that is. It's probably not. I don't know. Enlighten me, Lapis, please. Hello, Denko. Not much has happened so far. Robin Brain took pole and went off. It's Williams 1-2. I know they're in different liveries right now, but I can assure you they're the same team. Although I don't know if they're in the same team, mate. I don't Google about him. I will Google him, Lapis. If we get a safety car, I'll see if I can do it on stream, but not right now. We've got too much to watch as we go along. This DRS train is too enthralling to look away from. As Tomasz in the Sauber making his way through on the back of Ghost here. As I think one of the highlights of last season. Oh, really? Very cool. Oh, I see his Formula Day. You know what? I read Formula 1 debut in my head. But, I don't know. Maybe I will watch it. I haven't watched the Formula 2 or Formula 3 for a good couple of years now. So maybe I'll have to watch. Maybe that'll be my driver to watch in the lower formulas. This year. We'll see. I tend to just pick a driver and go with it. I see not much changing here at the moment. I think the closest battle seems to be Kane on the back of Kvyat Verstappen, who is, I think, all sorts of out of shape. This isn't the Verstappen we're used to seeing at the moment. But perhaps just a bit thrown off as Kevin obliterates one of the braking boards as they go down to the hairpin there. As he's keeping Verstappen at bay for now. Well, look at this DRS train. Nobody has broken rank. Everybody within DRS. It's a 20-car DRS train. It just shows you the competitive pace out there at the moment. It's like watching esports. But they all just sit in a train. All race long. Until they all pit. And then that really puts the cat amongst the pigeons, I suppose. But I'll keep an eye on the closer battles. This is Michael Wozniak in the Aston Martin. As I said, it's his return. I can't remember when he was last here. Somebody with more stat knowledge than I will have to remind me. I have slept since then. But here he comes. It was right to watch Michael Wozniak as he's on the move. And he's side by side now with Kane and the Haas. Kane, can he hold it all the way around the outside? No. As Michael Wozniak makes the move. And the Haas looks to the inside again. But doesn't go for it this time. And in fact, compromises himself. That could give Griffin a chance there as well. On those harder tyres. Those tyres will start coming into their own soon, I'd have thought. As the mediums, while not terrible here, will start to loosen performance soon. But a very clean lap one, I must say. Nobody's pitted. Yesterday, you mean yes, Tuesday, yeah, I did. A little bit of an unfortunate incident with Koru, but as is racing. I don't think I can argue with the stewards. To be honest, I was a bit apprehensive about reporting it myself, but I thought I'd give it a go. But yes, hopefully that continues, Denko. Congrats on the win. Hopefully there'll be plenty more this season. We'll see. Just don't do what you did in season 17 and bottle it at crucial races. We don't want that Denko anymore. We want the Denko domination arc now. That's what we want to see. That's what the fans want. Make the Denko army great again. Yes, that is true. You've got to contend with the curse. I had to do that a couple seasons ago as well, so I can tell you it isn't fun. It's all downhill from race 1, mate. All downhill. Just be thankful you don't have extra egg to dive up your inside at the Nouvelle chicane. Let's see them. Palang starting to lose some grip here. Well, lose some ground, I should say, to Robin Brain, who is soaring off down the road. I'll do it instead. No, I'm not. No, not me. Maybe there might be somebody else. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna start throwing out accusations at other drivers unless it's Lawrence. But it would be quite funny if Lawrence was the one to do it. But yeah, we move on. As LTB and Palang are swapping places, Palang might have had a mistake through that corner as LTB's found a way back past and into P2 there. We just saw the tail end of the move as we were going on, and I think the Palang losing pace is quite evident here. Kevin O'Reilly's looking in a solid spot for a podium at the moment. If he can get in amongst this battle right now, but Palang, I think, caught napping or making a mistake and paying the price, losing a place to LTB, who, excuse me, is closing in on Robin Brain. So a warranted move from LTB, who is looking to challenge the driver's title in his second season here in APPF1. And I think he was one of the standout drivers from last season as well. Definitely. I feel like I maybe already said that. Probably. I don't know. I don't do this as often as I used to. But Kevin O'Reilly, definitely one of the standout drivers from last season as well, across both Tier 1 and Elite as well. A driver that can do very, very well. And so far, RB aren't doing too bad for themselves, Kevin and Kevin. Both in the top 10, 4th and 8th respectively. They'd be second in the standings potentially. I don't know, I'd have to do the maths. I can't do it on the fly. I'm not that good. But maybe, probably. As Kevin and Griffin and Kane go wheel to, I think they've been having a bit of a ding-dong battle all race actually. So far, we've only had 8 laps. No pit stops yet, but I think we're going to start seeing some pit stops for the medium runners, as it seems like the mediums are starting to lose some performance now. We'll see as we keep going. I think Ghost will be happy with his performance so far. Up in P6, flying the flag for McLaren. Josh not here. I think he's having some technical issues as well. And struggling. That's Aces and Lawrence passing one another. Not sure what's happened there, as Ace seems to be going a little slowly. Some time penalties dished out there as well. There's Johnny Cars all over the back. Joey B sadly away from them, and look at this. LTB, I think, is well within striking distance now and is going on the attack. Apologies, I'm having to mute my mic so I can die and you don't have to hear it. I've had the worst cold I've ever had in my life over the last 2 weeks. It just won't go away. But enough about my health. We're on to the race. Robin Brain and LTB very close. No attack yet, but Robin Brain probably feeling some of the pressure now as he sees that pink Alpine in his rear mirrors. And a bit of a gap forming now as well. Kevin starting to drop off a little bit maybe from Ghost. We'll see as they get to the DRS, 'cause that'll be the tell. But even Kvyat Verstappen, he's not been able to make any progress. But I think it's the nature of this circuit. It's just, there's just no point. You can't overtake here. It's so difficult to do. You've got to rely on a mistake or just being that much faster than the driver you're behind in order to make a move. It's so difficult. I mean, let's look at the battery situation. LTB got a lot more to use. A lot of drivers with very little battery as Kvyat Verstappen passes Tomasz and makes up a place. As first driver in is Kane in the Haas to take off those medium tyres and take a set of hards to the end, I'd have thought. And perhaps an undercut might serve them well, as it is a very, very long pit lane here. It's slow and it's quite long as well. I'd say it's like 70% of the straight, maybe even 80% of the straight even. No, you know what? That's more like maybe 90. I don't know. No, because I think we're 70. As you sort of come out where that yellow dot is. Kind of. Anyway. First driver to come in. Kane was in a race with Griffin, so we'll have to ride along with Griffin when Griffin comes in. But remember, Griffin is on that harder compound of tyre, so we'll be going longer. Finds themselves in a little train here with Tomasz and Michael Wozniak, who looks at the inside as we cut to him. Doesn't make the move, and Tomasz peels out of the way as more drivers are coming in. Ghost and Dakar both in now. Ferrari and McLaren mechanics waiting to receive them both. As Ghost pits, exits, and stays behind Dakar, of course. As Lawrence and Aces and Johnny Carr all jostling back here as well. And always a bit of contact between Lawrence and Johnny. And Lawrence just about survives to race on another day. Griffin and Michael Wozniak left to resolve the matter now between themselves, as their train leader Tomasz has come in and been passed by Kane, interestingly enough. Perhaps they were fighting on exit, but Kane got the upper hand. We're keeping attention on the leaders. I think more so Kevin O'Reilly here, who is actually still within the lead train. So as I was saying, Kevin does have a very strong chance for a podium. I think this undercut has got to be great. He needs to come out in clear air, needs to look after the tyres, and needs to time his pit stop right. I think if he goes next lap, he should be okay, because he's got to try and respond now to Kevin and Verstappen. I think he's got enough time to come out ahead of them, but they are in, and they will pose a threat if left unchecked. Michael Wozniak and I can't remember who the other driver have come in, or Griffin. I think. No, Griffin's still out there, but Michael Wozniak was fighting with Kane, who we're riding along with now. Tomasz is in the mix as well. Let's take a look. Look on the right-hand side. We're looking out for an Aston Martin. There it is. Has he got the speed to go for it? Down as no. Straight over as Michael Wozniak does not want to take any chances. And these three are going to be locked together, I think, for a lot of the race. Verstappen's come out in some relatively clear air. Kevin's here as well. Let's jump on board with the other Kevin now in the top four. Race for the podium. He's just losing grip a little bit, but understandable as the tyres wear down. But let's see if he decides to come in. Lovely new helmet for Kevin O'Reilly, and he does pit into the pit lane. So Kevin is just entering Sector 3 now. He's coming through the triple right-hander. We'll ride along with him. See what he's up to in the other V-Carb. Of course, they're teammates. So it won't be too much of a battle between them, I'd have thought. But just interesting to see where they're going to be as they exit. T. Brown and Lawrence are now in the pits as well. Let's keep an eye out for that V-Carb. There's Kevin O'Reilly. He's going to be behind Ghost, or if Ghost gets the undercut, actually. We saw Ghost pit on the same lap as Dakar, and he started on the mediums as well. And he has managed to find his way ahead of Kevin O'Reilly, same as Dakar now. And Kevin O'Reilly's got some work to do. He's been undercut by Dakar and Ghost, who, in all honesty, we forgot had even pitted. No, I forgot I'd even pitted. So Kevin's got some work to do. Kevin's also in this, I should say. It's annoying they're both in the same team and they're both called Kevin. But Kevin O'Reilly and then Kevin. Do I call them Dutch Kevin and Irish Kevin? Probably easier just to say Kevin O'Reilly. But I think he'll be frustrated to come out in traffic. But I think Dakar, Ghost and Kevin O'Reilly could cause a problem. And even Kevin could cause a problem for the leaders. As if it's that much of an undercut for them, and they don't waste time battling each other, they could end up in a very good position. Gap to lead at 25 seconds. You lose a lot of time at this pit lane. I think it's about 28 to 30 seconds, maybe. It's a lot of time. We'll find out. His things are shaking out right now. Here's Kinney and Michael Wozniak. Now battling, they're amongst each other in this race. There's a lot to keep track of here, but we'll take a look. The two Saubers, this Haas and an Aston Martin, all jostling over P12. Give Verstappen's in this as well. This could be quite an interesting race once the leaders come in. I know they're going to be on medium tyres and have a bit of an advantage when they do come in, but it's whether the mediums are that much of an advantage. But saying that, Dakar has gone up the road. He is flying in that Ferrari, and it's looking very much like he could be the net leader here. As he sets the fastest lap as well. I think Dakar smells blood. It's a long shot, but he will be in. I think he will be in this fight when the top three come in. When they come in is the question. But it's a very, very interesting race. Ghost now is the leader of this training then. And I think Kevin O'Reilly, if I'm in his position, I'd be very frustrated that Ghost has got ahead of me. Because I think Kevin was in for a solid shout, but perhaps now maybe doesn't have the pace. What was his last lap? Let's see, race director for Kevin O'Reilly. Last lap was a 25.1, and the fastest lap belongs as LTB's in, so we're going to have to cut back to LTB. There's LTB. Dakar is about to come through the final corner now. This is going to be close. LTB's on the move. Here comes Dakar. Keep it on the right-hand side of your screen as the Ferrari comes barreling down the straight. Emerges the Alpine, does not. There's the Alpine, and Dakar has got a big undercut here, and I do think Dakar is the net leader now. It's a solid undercut actually, as LTB has emerged in amongst Ghost and Kevin O'Reilly. Kevin O'Reilly has got ahead of Ghost on this lap as well, and it's all kicking off as I think there's an incident. That's Michael Wozniak out of the race. He's lost it in sector 1. Or maybe he's just retired in the pit lane and his car's come out. I don't know. But we've not got a safety car. And we're going to continue on. As this race just became very interesting in terms of the strategy. Dakar is flying out there on these mediums right now. Gap to leader, let's see. 21 seconds. So Robin Brain and Palang could very well come out in the Kevin O'Reilly train here. They're going very long. Oh, Robin and Palang. Well, I say very long. This is lap 17 now. Tricky Badiak's in the pits. But here comes LTB. He doesn't want to hang around with these drivers on them hard tyres. He's straight past Ghost, who can't really do much about it. The DRS and the battery being used to full effect on that Alpine. And straight past goes LTB. He's got Kevin O'Reilly next. Well, I think he'll smell perhaps an opportunity to get on the podium as well. Likely net P2. But how much will this affect LTB in terms of his position relative to the leaders right now, Robin and Palang, who are still out there? Griffin is yet to pit as well, I should point out. He's gone very long as well. But I would expect him to come out around, I'd say in between in between Koru and Lewis, I'd have thought. Maybe even behind T-Bran. It's all about the strategy. Robin Brain is in. He's been the first to jump, as is his right as the lead, Williams. Griffin out. Oh, yeah. I think he might even be behind Verstappen here. Let's see. There's Dakar. The Williams hasn't emerged from the pit lane yet. And still hasn't emerged from the pit lane. We're looking for him. There's Robin Brain now. And is a little bit off this train. He'll definitely catch back up, but is way behind. And this race has shifted completely towards drivers who's pitted early. And now it's Dakar's race to lose, I think. Because I think he's guaranteed to come out ahead of Palang. He is your net leader. But LTB has got ahead of Kevin O'Reilly and is going to close him down quickly. This is going to have to be the defensive drive of Dakar's life. But if it's the win he loses out on, I think he's fine with that if he gets on the podium. But I think Robin Brain will be feeling the most frustrated, as will Palang, as they've got a lot more work to do in about 10 or 11 laps. And of course Palang in. Robin Brain already on the back of this, but remember, these DRS trains are very frustrating. Oh, excuse me. Keeping an eye. Palang and Griffin are now in. LTB has set the fastest lap of the race. He is within DRS of Dakar now as well, so Dakar will start feeling the pressure. Kevin O'Reilly's broken away from Ghost. Oh, this is a very interesting podium shake-up now. Griffin way down in 13th. And I think just where I said he was about to be, yeah, T-Brand behind him. Here's Griffin. Staying out long didn't really help. Palang has come out behind his teammate significantly. So as Robin Brain's going for a move around the outside of Verstappen in that slow turn 6. And he's going to emerge side by side with Verstappen, who's going to hold it out around the outside, but doesn't manage it as Robin Brain makes the move, positions the car wonderfully, and gets up into P6 as he'll start chasing down everyone else ahead of him. Meanwhile, LTB piling on the pressure on Dakar now, who perhaps is feeling it, dropped some pace. Kevin O'Reilly has been unleashed from behind Ghost. And Dakar, I think any chance of him winning this race ended when LTB got right there and started putting the pressure on him. And LTB straight past. And into the lead. And in the strongest position. And I think has played the strategy to a T. But I think Robin and Palang still have a chance. But I think Palang hasn't closed in as quickly as his teammate did. Yes, he can get it back. But I think LTB has had some incredible pace. He's already dropped Dakar. And Dak has also got a time penalty as well. 3 seconds to track limits. Robin Brain and Kevin, and meanwhile, are going at it. It looks like he did the same thing he did to Verstappen and got him there, and has made another move up. But also, Robin Brain has a time penalty as well. 3 seconds. It's all track limits. 3 for Dakar, Robin, Lewis, Koru, Lawrence, Joe, and Johnny. Aces and Tomash with 6 there as well. So proving difficult. He is staying within the white line. It won't matter for this week, Denko. It will start. Fantasy will start on Monday because it was posted late. So don't worry. I still haven't done my fantasy picks yet. And here comes Robin Brain now. And straight past Ghost. I mean, unless Ghost has said otherwise, I don't think he has. I haven't even had time to think about my team, let alone make it. As I say, Dakar, though, I think without the penalty, was in a strong point for a podium. But Kevin O'Reilly now looking to take those honours. And Robin Brain, meanwhile, I think he might be out of a shout of a podium as well. It could end up being Kevin and Ghost on the podium if they stay within 3 seconds. We'll see. I mean, LTB's gone. He's checked out. So it's up to Dakar and Kevin to do what they can, really, to hold on. But Dakar very much on the back foot. I mean, Ghost needs to find some pace and stay within DRS. That's his chance of finishing on this podium today. I think he just got the DRS, did Ghost? No, he didn't. He didn't get it. And look how quickly Kevin is closing up on the back of him now. And he's going to go for the move. Down the inside he goes. And he gets it done. Meanwhile, Robin Brain passes Kevin O'Reilly up ahead. And gets himself in between Dakar and Kevin. Kevin, meanwhile, still side by side with Ghost. And gets the move done at the exit of turn 2. And down towards turn 3 and 4. Great racing at the front here as Triku and Lewis getting a bit racy with each other. Triku having some fun out there toward the lower end of the Tier 1 grid, but it's nice to see him giving Tier 1 a go. Safety car! That's Lawrence! Oh, it's Lawrence. It would be Lawrence to bring a safety car out. And just when we thought this race couldn't get any crazier, safety car deployed. Kevin O'Reilly now finds himself with a penalty as well, so cursed his chances of a penalty, didn't I? Of a podium, didn't I? But, wow. Safety car. A late one at that. Took the time to blow my nose there. As everybody in the front is in, LTB stayed out. As has Palang. And I think they probably think that's their best chance to hold on to a podium slot here. Well, the front. But it's mediums for Dakar, mediums for Robin, mediums where Kevin, the two Kevins would have been double stacked as well. As their teammates is mediums for everybody. Nobody wants to touch the softs. Unless you're Tomash. Unless you're Koru. Unless you're Lewis. Or Aces. Oh, late safety car drama. Lawrence said that his 2026 isn't his year at the moment. Seems to be proving it. Another subpar performance. Down in 18th. I hope to try and drag something out of this with the safety car, but that time penalty is really going to hold him back. And in fact, Robin Brain has got 13 seconds, and I can only assume he picked that up in the pit lane for speeding. Which means Robin Brain's chances of a podium just went from unlikely to impossible, I think. With that 10-second time penalty added to his track limits penalty. But maybe it's removable. Maybe it's removable. And he's coming in. Is he serving it under safety car? Can you do that? He can indeed do that. And he's got a wing change as well. He must have had contact with somebody then. Maybe. I don't know what's happened. Maybe he'll end up in the steward's room, but he is way down the order now. And that's one player out, pretty much. I would hazard a guess that we are going to be racing on lap 26. The grid is still very jumbled up right now. We can have a helmet review. Is what we can have. LTB's helmet, I feel like hasn't changed between seasons. Therefore, I don't know. It's white and orange. It's okay. I don't know, like a 4. What's that? That's a helmet for Palang. I can't see it. I wish I could get better angles of the helmets. Show me some better angles. Please. I don't know. It kind of matches the orange and blue of the Williams liveries running. At least on the nose there and the Komatsu blue. I quite like it. I don't know. Like a 7. Dakar. Like I've seen Dakar's helmet before. I don't think it's changed. Kevin O'Reilly's. I don't know if green and pink and purple is my vibe. I'll give it an 8. To be fair, it's not a terrible helmet. Ghost helmet. You know what? I think some of these helmets were posted on the Discord. Let me scroll up a bit so I can get a good look at Ghost's helmet then. As we wait. There's Joey B and Lawrence in the pits. Now there's Kevin's. Oh, I'm looking a bit better now, actually. I'll bump it up to a 9 for Kevin. I feel like Ghost posted his earlier. Or maybe it wasn't in this channel. I remember seeing it though. I'll give it a 9 as well. Boo, 0. Kevin, silver and orange kind of vibe. Looks okay. 7. Tomash, that's not a custom helmet. 0. Not a custom helmet. 0. Default helmet by the looks of things. 0. Ooh, boo, 0. T-Band seems like another non-custom one. Trickier, I feel like I've seen before. The safety car is in this lap. I want to give that Tricky's a 7. Oh, I like that on Lewis. I don't know what it looks like entirely, but it's very Nico Hulkenberg-esque. And so we're going to get back to racing in a second, so we'll cut back to the front. We're right on board with Palang. As we wait to see because it's going to be Palang versus LTB for the race win here, unless anything happens to one or both of them. The safety car is about to pin into the pit lane, so LTB can go from any time now, really, up until the line. He'll probably leave it late. And there he goes, he's dropped it, he's off. And Palang pulls straight in and is actually already looking to challenge. It's not a great restart from LTB. Palang's going to pull alongside him now. And Kevin O'Reilly's getting racy in the background as well. But round the outside goes LTB to see if he can make the move on Palang there, but doesn't go for it. Almost is able to go alongside. We didn't see what happened. There was definitely contact between the two of them, though. Wasn't able to get the move done for the lead. But gave it a good go. Might see it in the stewards, but Dakar and Kevin O'Reilly side by side, forming a wall ahead of Ghost, who dives down the inside of Dakar now, and is going to draw alongside him on the exit of the corner down towards the next. Can he hold it around the outside and take the place off Dakar? No, he can't, and he draws in behind Kvyat Verstappen. Meanwhile, they're forming a queue, but it's not orderly at all behind him. As they are all jostling for positions in the lower half of the points. Lewis ahead of Johnny Carr. Tomasz holding off. Lead soft runner T-Bran ahead of Koru here as well. But we've got to cut back to the front. We're coming back for another pass at the line. Another opportunity for the lead. Remember, Kevin and Dakar, 3-second time penalties for both of them. So remember that going into the final few laps here. Ghost is looking at the podium right now. Can Kevin or Verstappen snatch it off him? Let's see, but LTB and Palang looking like the favourites for that top two positions. Kevin O'Reilly, maybe he can get his penalty removed perhaps, and that might put him back up. He's run a solid race. Just that penalty has really put a dampener on his performance there. But look at this, these top six in a field class of their own. Kvyat Verstappen has really got nothing to answer. Interestingly though, LTB's mediums are 11 laps old. I have seen punctures at this track. I would imagine, depending on his level of tyre wear, they're somewhere in the range of 50 to 65% at this stage. Maybe even 70. We'll bump that up to 70, but Palang, not much fresher, but gonna go for a move around the outside. Doesn't go for it. Holds it off as the door seemingly closed on him. Kane is ahead of Kvyat. Aces is out of the race. He's retired in the pit lane, as he so often does. Kevin's got a time penalty now, so his chances of a podium are gone. And Verstappen, well, he's well off. Kevin will at least keep P6, but Ghost is there. He hasn't got a penalty. All he's got to do is not get any track limit warnings. Let's see what his race director says. Yeah, he's one away. One little field trip beyond those white lines, and it's bye-bye podium. Ghost's got it all to do. LTB holding out for, I think, would be a second win, perhaps, in the league, which would be a great one. Let's hope he doesn't fall foul of any curses if he does manage to do it. But we're going on to this final lap now, and it's Palang who's going to have a chance at him, using everything he's got, and LTB can do nothing to see him off. Palang takes the lead of the race on the final lap. Tomasz retires in the pit lane, and LTB has got to find something in this last lap if he wants to take this back from Palang. Meanwhile, Ghost, all he's got to do is stay where he is, and he's on the podium. Let's see as we go through that slow turn 6. LTB, he's been running a fantastic race, but it's been an even better one from Palang, who has returned with a bang in this season so far. It's only the first race, so you've got 9 races left to go. And as I said, it's so competitive, this field. It could go any which way, depending on which drivers are here on the circuit. But it looks like it might go the way of Palang in these final few corners. LTB perhaps struggling with the mediums, not having the grip that he once did. They've used all the battery. It's one final corner for Palang. Just keep it in a straight line. And he wins the opening round here in Qatar, followed by LTB and Ghost on the podium. A fantastic race at the front there. Let's see, Kevin O'Reilly, Daka, Kinney, Kevin, Kvyat, Verstappen, Griffin and T-Bran. Kinney got within just enough of Kevin to snatch away P6, I believe it was. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Tomasz not happy with his track. I think Ghost will be very, very pleased with a podium, especially after last season. I think last season was a bit disappointing for him. LTB and Palang, I think, done very well. LTB, not a shock to see him up there, but I think after Palang's final season, I can't not give him... Oh, I say after Palang's last season, I can't not give him driver of the day. After that, that was fantastic. And are we going to get results? I don't know if we're going to get results. Give us results, please. I'd like to run through the results. We are going to get them, thank God. The game gave it to Ghost, but I'm giving it to Palang, driver of the day, and it won't give me results. Thank you. Thank you, game. Quickly run through them on the stream. Oh, actually, no, I didn't see everybody's position. So apologies, the game won't give me results. Let's see if we can talk to Ghost. Let's start a party within the Tier 1 group. There he is. Amazing, we can get started straight away. It's a shame we can't talk to the top two, but we've got Ghost, who I think after last season, mate, I said it on the stream, I think you'd be very, very happy with that result.
Oh, delighted, mate. I was particularly happy with quali, actually, because I know I was down in 9th, even so, but I was very close, like another couple tenths, and I was 4th or 5th. And I felt like I had another couple tenths, so I was quite pleased with that. And then had a really good start. It got well off the line, and then right place at the right time through 1 and 2. But yeah, I just kind of managed to stay where I was. I had the pace to stay in the train, and that's what did it, really. Stayed within the white lines and bagged myself a podium. It's my first one in Tier 1 for some time, so I'm really happy with that.
And I mean, it wasn't... Well, it was looking likely for a little bit of time during the race before that safety car, but I think it's fair to say that some of the drivers ahead of you just had that bit more pace, but it was a big strategy split between the top three and everybody else, because it meant that LTB was in amongst the pack, and then Palang and Robin Brain ended up toward the back of that pack. And I don't know, do you think you could have done it without that safety car, or was the safety car, I think, quite integral to your result today?
I wouldn't have had a podium without it. Maybe
True McLaren luck.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, maybe fourth or fifth without it, which I would have still been delighted with. But yeah, the safety car and then the penalty for Kevin O'Reilly really sealed the deal. He was very unlucky. He got a penalty just as the safety car came out. So yeah, I for so much of that race, I didn't know if I was on one warning or two, so I kept very safe in the last few laps. But
I can't confirm you were on two.
No, it was. I was on two.
You
okay.
were, yeah.
I'm
I was looking
glad
at
I
that.
stayed safe then. But yeah, no, I'm really happy with that. It's I just checked. It's my first podium since I won Singapore 2 seasons ago. So yeah, very happy.
I mean, returns for drivers in their prime in season 17, I suppose, for you and Palang there.
Yeah.
But I guess we've talked about it on the podcast, Ghost, and I talked about it on stream as well. I guess we'll have a little chat about it now briefly. But your goal this season in probably one of the most stacked Tier 1 grids, what do you think you can manage after today's result?
Well, I don't know if this is a fluke or not yet. I don't know if this is a good track for me and it's going to be a one-off, or whether whether I have actually found some pace over the break, because I have done some work on it. Particularly qualifying, I've done some work on that. So I don't know. I think top 5 would be fantastic, with, like you said, absolutely stacked grid this season. So if I can sneak my way into the top 5, I'd be very happy. But I mean, after today, if the results keep going as they are today, like if I've still got this pace, or this kind of pace on most tracks, you never know. The sky's the limit.
Yeah, well, I suppose you'll have to hope that some of the heavy hitters don't show up like today. I think we were missing about half the sort of top drivers, I think.
Yeah, Kylo and Hugo were the big misses, I think. Both Red Bulls, but particularly Kylo. I think he'll have his wheel fixed, or a new wheel, for next week, so this hopefully will be the only race he misses. But yeah, I mean, certainly rely on some missed races, probably rely on some disasters as well. I think Kylo said that he was missing another race this season, so yeah, if you know the top guys like Palang drove exceptionally well today, LTB RSD as well, very strong, but you know, if those top guys all have one or two races like the one Wozniak had, or not Wozniak, Robin Brain had today, then you never know if I can stay consistent. But like I said, it's race 1. I don't want to read anything into it. We know Palang's not winning the season anyway because he won the first race, so that's one down. But yeah, no, I'm really excited after that. It's one of my best driven races in some time.
Yeah, there we go. We both have something to talk about on the podcast on Sunday. But well done today, Ghost. I think it was a decent go. Game gave you driver of the day. I gave it to Palang, just for your, so you don't have to ask me later on.
Thanks for the commentary, Sumo.
Yes.
The voice of Tier 1.
Of course, anytime. Well, that's it, everybody. Unfortunately, couldn't talk to the others due to platform differences and voice chats and whatnot. But I'm sure we will be having many more interviews like this one as the season goes on. Hopefully, we get plenty of full grids and plenty of races where there is plenty of action in what we have been calling the most stacked season in Tier 1 for a long time. But keep tuning in, same time, every Friday, whether it's me or Louis over the time as well. But for now, I'm going to leave you, love you and leave you. I need a cup of tea and to rest my voice because that was very difficult. So I will see you all again very, very soon. Thank you so very much for watching. Goodbye.